ladies and gentlemen, back from our commercial breaks or whatever it is we do on YouTube. We're back here at the Chop Shop, and we are watching the debut of Frank the Crank. Last time he was here, he tried to have himself a match, and Self-Made Money came in and made somewhat of an example of him. But thankfully, they're not here tonight. Frank the Crank is all 275 pounds of this big bastard, and I guarantee you, he is going to make himself one hell of an impact here at Renegade's Wrestling Alliance.
You know what? I like Frank the Crank. I do. I liked his performance in the Legacy Rumble, the Throwdown. I think he's going to be a good addition here. He's a young guy. He's trying to just have fun in the ring. And you know what? I don't know. What is he, 7'12" if he's an inch and 275 pounds? That's a big boy to tangle with.
He's a massive dude, and he's got a great disposition, so I'm really looking forward to seeing him succeed here at Renegade. And speaking of success, he is taking on a man who has definitely been around a few blocks in the independent professional wrestling world. Triplelicious is a former Lightning Cup champion of PWF. He feuded with our Triple Crown champion for over a year and a half in said company with JT Dunn. And those two, man, they put it down. Cage matches, tables matches, you name it, they did it. This guy is a hardened veteran. And Frank the Crank, well, you got your work cut out for you tonight, my man.
Now, Triplelicious almost took himself out, hitting that low roof we have. Got a lot of bling on him as well.
I guess maybe that's why the crowd here isn't taking well to him. I mean, he's a talented wrestler and he's not that bad of a guy, but not being endeared here at Renegade.
I think they sell that at one of the stores right down the street.
Possibly. Are you saying that Triplelicious has himself he has bodegas bling? Is that what you're saying? He gets
Quite
his bling
possibly.
from the bodegas?
I don't know how we work with sponsors. I'm just saying, you know.
Well, you know what a bodega is, right?
Yeah, I know what a bodega is.
Oh, and you've seen the bling that they have in bodegas.
I have seen such.
Right next to all the tobacco pipes?
Right, the tobacco pipe.
Yes.
Tobacco.
For tobacco use only.
It's what the sign says.
Right.
And now we have a bell call by senior referee Steve Mocher.
We got these two big guys sizing one another up, and already with the mind games. I mean, there's no way Triplelicious is intimidated by this guy. You know, Frank's big, but he's new.
Triplelicious taking a bit of a timeout here. I was saying he's not ready.
You know how these vets get after a while. They fall under the diva syndrome. He's trying to take Frank's head out of this game, so that he makes rookie mistakes, so that he makes beginner's mistakes, so he's not on rhythm.
What a power! Just the power of Frank the Crank.
And that's
pushing him right back.
You know what? I mean, being young like that and just being, full of piss and vinegar, Trips may have the experience factor over him, but you cannot subside or substitute for the hunger of an eager rookie.
And now Trips is saying to Steve Mocher he wasn't ready. And Mocher's saying that's not true at all. Big throwdown by Frank the Crank. Another big throwdown. And a huge body slam coming up. There it is. Great scoop slam. And Triplelicious is in a lot of trouble here.
Oh, man. And Frank is having himself one hell of a debut here tonight at the Chop Shop.
And listen to this crowd chant, "Crank it up."
Oh, wow.
Never a good idea. Never a good idea to run outside the ring.
Good move by Frank, though. He saw that elbow coming. Apparently he's been watching his footage as well. I would expect a rookie to just kind of jump in there and eat the elbow. Whoa!
Up and over goes Trips, and Triplelicious is upset. He is in pain, and he is calling for a timeout. I know we made the NFL comparison, but as JR like to say, there are no timeouts in professional wrestling.
No, there aren't. And you can slow down the pace as much as you'd like and, kind of force your will upon the matchup. But no, there are no timeouts and there are no holding calls unless it's illegal holding.
which is the only type of holding that you would get a penalty for.
Right.
I saw what you were doing. I liked it. Frank hung up on the top rope.
And there he is taking it. Trips is taking advantage of the overzealousness of Frank. Kick to the stomach. Oh, now he's off of his vertical base. Now we're going to see the veteran really take advantage and get the upper hand in this matchup.
Now the sleeper hold, a rear naked choke, almost not clubbed right to the back. Frank is off his vertical base, and you know what? I'm guessing, Bobby Rossi, that's what you want to do when you have somebody that's not only bigger than you in weight, but in height.
That'd be my guess. That'd be my tactics if I were in there.
Triplelicious now going to light up Frank the Crank with a couple of chops. Another chop there.
Now he's just punishing him.
Thought he was going to go for a snapmare. He's just a full takedown right down to the mat.
He is really grinding down the energy of Frank the Crank here, and that's smart thinking by Triplelicious. You don't want to get this guy full of energy because I guarantee you, you won't like him when he gets cranky.
A standing moonsault, nicely done, and Frank the Crank powers out of that.
He's got him reeled in the corner. No, not a good move.
Now another rear naked choke by Triplelicious, taking Frank down. Frank down to one knee. This crowd trying to fire up Frank the Crank. Now a big club to the gut. Another club to the gut. Triplelicious breaks the hold. Another club right to the jaw. Crank off the ropes. Here he comes. And there's the difference between the veteran and the rookie.
This is not going to pan out well for Frank. He's got to, I was going to say, he's got to get Trips off of his back, man.
Triplelicious second rope. He keeps going to that sleeper.
See, Triplelicious knows that he doesn't necessarily have to pull out every maneuver in his arsenal. What we've seen from Frank is a lot of promise and a lot of heart. I haven't seen a whole lot of offense out of the guy.
Not at all. Another club to the back and a back chop to Frank the Crank, and another chop right on the mat. He has a cover 1, 2, and a kick out. Frank's in a lot of trouble here and started off really, really hot. And pretty much since those rear naked chokes and sleepers have been put in, he hasn't been able to recover.
Well, you know, a lot of people don't realize just how easily some pressure to the jaw can really fatigue you. You know, when you feel as though your face is in somewhat of a vice grip, you're not going to be thinking clearly. So to try to think even more clearly, you push yourself, and that's where you get tired.
Mosher is checking to make sure it's not an eye rake and looking for the submission, neither of which has happened. Frank back up to a vertical base. Triplelicious still in control of Frank the Crank. Frank breaks it. Here comes the looking for the big boot, ducks under, it goes for a scissor kick!
Wow! And that's one hell of a difference maker.
1, 2, and a kick out, almost 3. Frank the Crank can't believe it.
Almost squeaked one out, did the Cranky man. And this would be a really big win for him up against a veteran like Triplelicious.
Another chop. Another chop. Ducking the chop, Frank the Crank going for a belly-to-belly suplex.
That was beautifully done.
1, 2, and another kick out.
If you notice, Rob, he had his right leg hooked and then he let go of it to try to apply further pressure to the upper body. And that, another rookie mistake by Frank the Crank here. I'm hoping that he looks at this footage afterwards and critiques it himself. You are your best critic, folks.
Best and worst sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. No one can take the wind out of your sails better than you if you're a negative person. Nonetheless, Frank is up to his feet. He's looking to put Triplelicious away. Looks like he's got himself a second wind. And Steve Mosher attending to him.
He's saying that he's hurt. He's saying that something's wrong. And what the hell was that?
Yo, hold on a minute. He just blew some sort of powder or mist in his eyes.
What the hell was that?
I don't know, but he doesn't see it coming. A face wash from hell!
And now Triplelicious climbing to the top rope. He's gonna fly. He does. A big leg drop. The cover. 1, 2, 3. That's... What a horrible way for Frank the Crank to get his first loss.
Hey, look, I tip my hat to Frank the Crank. I'm looking forward to seeing what else he does here in his career. This is just the beginning, kid. Don't get down, get your hopes down on just one loss.
Well, speaking of wins and losses, it's time for me to step away, brother.
Well, how am I supposed to commentate all by myself?
I have been told that they have found somebody. I mean, the eater of chicken wings was here last week.
Ray Phoenix, that's right.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll find somebody. I'm sure you guys will rock and roll. And I got to go stretch out. I got to get ready for this.
Rob, I can't ask you to reconsider, huh?
I got to do it. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's got to be done. It's got to be done.
Okay.
And I do appreciate what you're trying to do.
Well, I appreciate what you're doing as well. You're trying to uphold the respect of the profession of broadcast journalism, and you know what, man? I don't like it, but I don't have to like it. Do this.
Thanks, man. We'll be back.